Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a complete beginner's tutorial on Outlook Calendar. This video will show you everything that you need to know about Outlook Calendar, including how to navigate the dashboard, how to add and create new events, how to create different calendars for organization, how to share your calendar with other people, and even some back-end settings to improve your experience. If this is your first time using Outlook Calendar, all you have to do is follow along with this guide and you will walk away as an Outlook calendar expert. This is the Outlook calendar, and this is the default view that you will be taken to as soon as you load in to your Outlook calendar account. In this main section right here, this is the calendar. This is where we can see all of the events, everything else that we have planned out. We can see that right here. Up at the top, we have this menu bar where we can add new events and we can flick between the view of this calendar. So right now, you can see I am set to the weekly calendar. And what you will always find with these views is the day that you are currently on is slightly bigger than the rest of the days. So you can see today is Friday. So it's about double the size of the days before. And then the days that are coming up are once again a little bit bigger than these days, but slightly bigger than the day that you are on. So we can switch this from the week to the work week. And this is just going to show you Monday to Friday. We can switch this to the current day that we are on and see an entire view of the day. Or we can switch this to monthly, where we can get a bird's eye overview and see all of the events and dates that we have coming up for the current month. We do have a smaller version of this on this left-hand side. So if I just go back to the weekly, for example, we can see we have a monthly calendar over here. It's going to highlight the current week so that you can see the week that you are currently on. Now, before we go ahead and we add in new events and I show you how all of this works, the very first thing that you want to do is actually change the weather right here, because usually this is not set to your current location. For example, if I click on the weather on the current day that I am on, we can see this is set to Redmond. Now, I'm not in Redmond, I'm not even in the United States. So what we want to do to make sure that this doesn't mess you up, you don't get the wrong weather for a certain day, we want to go to edit locations right here. And then first of all, you can choose to turn off the weather if you don't even want to see this. So we could just turn this off. Or alternatively, I do like to have this on to see the weather for each day, but we can go down and add another location. So in here, I'm going to add London. So we can add that right there. And then I'm going to click on add. And then Redmond, I'm actually going to delete. We can then click on save. And the weather is now going to be set to London. So this is a lot better and this is a lot more accurate. I don't want to be cancelling any plans that I have because I'm given the wrong weather. Now let's go ahead and add a new event to the calendar. Now there are two different ways that we can do this. We can either go up to new event in this top left corner, and then we can choose the date and time right here. Or alternatively, we can just go to any of these views. So let's say the monthly. And I actually want to plan something. Today's the 28th. I actually want to plan something for Monday. So I'm going to go to July right here, go to Monday, and then we can click onto the calendar. And this is automatically going to be set to Monday, the 1st of July. So I'm going to go ahead and add a title in here. And I'm going to say that this is a meeting with John. So we can add that in right there. Next to this, we have this icon that you can turn off, or you can set to any of these icons right here. And I do like this as it allows you to just glance at your calendar and see what you have planned for each day. So I'm just going to set this to this group icon right here. Then I can see this is a meeting. This is already set to Monday, the 1st of July. So that is fantastic. But all I'm now going to do is set the time. So this meeting is actually from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So I'm going to set this to 1 p.m. and then to 3 p.m. So we can see this is 2 hours. We can also choose if this event repeats. So we could click down here and say that this event repeats daily. So I have a meeting with John every day, every week, every month, or every year. Or if you have something that you don't see here, for example, bi-monthly, we could click into custom. We could set this to every 2 weeks, choose the day that this repeats on, and then this is going to be set to bi-monthly. So let's leave this as every 2 weeks. We can then go down here and choose a reminder. So if we want to be reminded before the event, we can choose this 5 minutes before, at the time, 30 minutes before, an hour before. I'm going to set this to 30 minutes before, and this way I'm going to get a notification on either my computer or my phone, depending on where you are logged in to your Outlook account. Down here, we can then add a location. So for example, if this was a physical location, I could set this to like the Shard in London and have that right there. And then if I click into this, we can see the full address, we can see the phone number, the website, we can see a map of how to get there. So that is set up perfectly. We can then add a description of this event if you want to, and this is really going to be handy when you are planning events months in advance. You might forget what the event is, so down here we can just add a few sentences as a reminder. So I could say a meeting with John to discuss him signing on as a client, and once all of that is set, let's now go ahead and save this meeting. We can see this is now going to be added in, and because I set this to repeat every 2 weeks, this is automatically going to fill the rest of my calendar. If I just go down, every 2 weeks, this meeting with John is going to be there. To edit a meeting and make any changes that we need to make, all you have to do is click into the meeting, click on edit, and then because this is a recurring event, it's going to ask if we want to just do this event specifically on Monday the 1st, this and all following events, or all events in this series. So let's go this and following events. And in here, you can see we can add even more information. First of all, we can invite attendees. Now, as this is a meeting with John, I definitely want to send John an email to tell him that this meeting is going ahead and this meeting is happening. So in invite attendees, all you have to do is enter in the email of the person that you would like to invite. So we can type that in right there, use this email address, and just like that, this person is now added to the event. You can add as many people as you like, but I'm just going to add John for this. We can then go up here and choose response options. So whether we request a response, whether we allow him to forward this, and if we want to hide the attendee list. So I'm happy with this. I don't want to change anything. But if we did, we could just click, tick these and remove them. Then we can set our status for this meeting. Now, this is only going to be applicable if you are sharing your calendars, which I will show you how to do later. For example, if I want to share my work calendar with the rest of my team, then it's going to be very important to set this status right here so that my team know I am busy when I am in this meeting with John. If this is a personal calendar that you will not be sharing with anybody, then this is not really as relevant. But for this, I can set this to busy, which it's already set to, and this way nobody can book on my calendar because they know I'm busy right here. Then we have notifications, we already set this. We can then go into categorize, and right now we can see this is set to a blue category. So this is set to blue, but for calendar organization, we can basically set this up to be a different color. And this way, it makes it a lot easier on the eye when we are just viewing the calendar at a glance. So let's leave this as orange for now, and then we can choose if we want this to be private, which I don't want this to be. Once all of that is set up, because I added John right here, I want to go ahead and send him this email. And as we can see, that event is now going to be updated. So I will also show you how things look from John's end. I am now inside of John's email, and this is the email that John will get. So the name of the event is going to show right here, meeting with John. It's going to show the description right here, so what the description of the event is, where the event is, so we can see when this is, where this is, who this is with, and then John now knows about this meeting. I'm also going to be out of office on Friday, so let's go ahead and add that into the calendar. I'm once again going to stick to the monthly chart, go to Friday the 5th, and then click on this, and I can now add in this event. So from here, I can either start typing this in on this kind of miniature screen right here, or we can click on more options and we are taken into the more options area. Let's go to add title, and I'm just going to call this out of office. Then the date is set right here. Of course, this is going to be all day, so I'm going to say all day. Search for a location, this is going to be fine. Don't really need to add a description, but all I'm going to do is change this from free to out of office. Then we can save this, and perfect. I can see on Friday the 5th, I am now out of office. The final event that I'm going to add to my calendar in this example to really show you what we can do, and it will make sense why I'm adding this in a second, but I'm going to go to Saturday and I have a class to train my pup. So let's more options. then puppy training is going to be the title. And we can see that by default, it's going to add this cool little emoji. Then I'm going to set the date and time. So this is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here for 1 hour. We can then set the location. So we can add that in right there. We could add a description. You understand how to do this by now. So let's just change this to a green color and then we can save. And that's now going to show up on my calendar as this green color. Now, the reason that I showed you this is because we can create multiple calendars. Some are for work, some could be for sports events, some could be for leisure. And it's very important that we set this up. To do this, we just come over here to the left-hand side, click on Add Calendar. And then the first calendar that I want to add is a blank calendar. And this is going to be my work calendar. So I'm going to title this Work Calendar. And then maybe we want to set this to this orange color right here. And then for the charm, let's choose an icon that fits this well. We could go for this briefcase. And then we can click on Save. Just like that, Work Calendar has now been added right here. Let's go ahead and add another calendar. And let's call this one Leisure. This is where my puppy training is going to fall into. So once again, we can click My Calendar, create blank calendar, and call this Leisure. Then we can have this one as green. We will set the icon to this, and then we can click on Save. Now we have both of these calendars set up. However, the events that we have are not yet contained to a calendar. So let's do that right now. We go to puppy training, then we can click on Edit. Then from here, we want to go into more options. And in this area, we can see the calendar that this is currently set to. So let's change this from calendar to leisure. Then we can save. And that's now set to the leisure calendar. And then we could do the same for this meeting right here. We just go in and set that to the work calendar. So you can toggle these on or off right here. And that's how you can set up multiple events. Now, the main reason that you will want to do this is because you will want to share different calendars with different people. For example, I might want to share my work calendar with my colleagues, but I don't want them to see everything else that I've got going on during the week. Whereas with leisure, I might share this with my wife, but I don't really think she cares about the meeting that I have with Joy. So to share these calendars, we just go to the calendar that you want to share, so work calendar, click on these three dots, and then we can go sharing and permissions. And then we can enter in the email addresses of the people that we want to share this to. So with my work calendar, I could enter in an email right here. Then I can choose the permissions that this person has, so they can view or they can edit. I don't really want my colleagues being able to edit my calendar, so I'm going to say they can view, share, and now this is going to add them to the calendar, so they can specifically see everything I have on to do with work, but they can't see the rest of this. Then for my wife, I might go to leisure. Then we can go to sharing and permissions, enter my wife's email address, and make sure that she has access to leisure. The final thing that I want to show you inside of Outlook Calendar is just some backend settings and preferences that you might want to set up to improve your experience. To do this, we just click on this settings icon in the top right corner. And then we can see these are all of the settings that we can access. So for example, we have calendar appearance. We can set the first day of the week right here. Now I'm going to leave this as Monday. We can then choose the time scale. So I'll show you what it means here. This is not really as relevant on the monthly, but if we go to weekly, we can see the time scale is set to 30 minutes. So we have 11, half past, and then 12, half past 1. So we can go up here and then set this to, let's say 60 minutes as an example, save. And then you can see it's going to make the calendar much smaller, but much more compact. So it's up to you what you want to set there. I do prefer to leave this as 30. We can then choose the work week. So maybe in work, you actually work a Saturday. We can then set that right there. And now if we go to the work week, you can see it's going to show Saturday as well. So Monday to Saturday. From here, we can then go to general. So these you can change as well, but they don't really make much of a difference. You can look through them if you want. But we can go to general right here. You can change the language, date format, time format. You can change the appearance of Outlook. So we could change this to dark mode right here. We could change this back to light mode. We can add different themes to this and completely change how this is going to look. So I actually quite like this theme right here. We can then go down and change things like notifications, so which notifications you are getting. You can add and change the different categories so that you can tag your events as different colors. So we could click create category, choose a different color to add here. So let's go for like white. We'll go white category. Just like that, and then save. And then that's now going to be added as white category. From here, I'm just looking down, but I don't really think any of these are worth going into. Yeah, so I'd probably leave it right there. As soon as you have those settings, you have the theme set up, and you have this looking how you want to, then you have everything that you need to know about Outlook. So that is my complete guide on Outlook Calendar. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.